Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into the lives and legacies of world-changing figures. Today, we're focusing on one of the most remarkable leaders in history, Nelson Mandela. A man who fought for justice, equality, and the freedom of his people. Mandela's journey from prisoner to president inspires millions. His story isn't just about politics. It's about resilience, forgiveness, and a vision for a better world. If you've ever wondered how one person can change the course of history, stay tuned. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with our fascinating explorations of impactful lives like Mandela's. Let's get into it. 1. The early years of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in a small village called Mvezo in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. His birth was during the era of apartheid, a deeply segregated society where black South Africans faced extreme oppression. Raised in the rural village by his mother and extended family, Mandela was initially shielded from the brutalities of apartheid. He was sent to live with the Thembu royal family where he learned the ways of leadership. His education, however, was limited by the laws of the time, and it wasn't until he moved to the city that his political consciousness began to awaken. As a young man, Mandela was exposed to the complexities of colonialism and racial injustice, which would shape his resolve to fight for change. This period of his life marked the beginning of a journey that would change not only South Africa but the world. His passion for justice grew stronger, igniting the spark for his activism. The early influences of his family, particularly his mother and the Thembu royal family, helped to form his character and belief in fairness. These experiences shaped his future aspirations to lead and fight against an unjust system. Although his schooling was limited, the strong values instilled in him during his youth set the stage for his eventual leadership. By the time he left for Johannesburg to continue his studies, his commitment to equality was clear, though he had no idea yet how far this journey would take him. The hardships of his early years ignited a lifelong drive to bring justice, not only to himself, but to all oppressed people. 2. Joining the African National Congress, ANC. In 1943, Mandela joined the African National Congress, a political party committed to fighting for the rights of black South Africans. It was during this time that he fully immersed himself in the struggle against apartheid. As a member of the Active Noise Cancellation, Mandela helped form the Active Noise Cancellation Youth League, which promoted the idea of a non-violent, mass-based resistance to the government's racist policies. His leadership began to shine as he helped lead peaceful protests, strikes, and boycotts, all aimed at pressuring the government to recognize the rights of black South Africans. Mandela understood that true freedom for his people could only come through collective action, and he worked tirelessly to unite various groups across the country in the fight for justice. His growing influence within the Active Noise Cancellation made him a target for the authorities, but Mandela was determined to push forward, no matter the cost. He spent countless hours organizing protests and planning strategies to weaken the apartheid system. Through the Active Noise Cancellation, Mandela's political network expanded, and he gained valuable experience in organizing and mobilizing people. His work within the party laid the groundwork for the major resistance movements that followed. The Active Noise Cancellation gave him the platform to challenge the government on a national scale, something that was pivotal to his personal growth as a leader. His decision to align with the Active Noise Cancellation was a pivotal moment, cementing his commitment to the anti-apartheid cause and his belief in the power of collective activism. 3. Defiance Campaign and Rivonia Trial. In the 1950s, Mandela was instrumental in launching the Defiance Campaign, which encouraged South Africans to defy apartheid laws. This campaign was a turning point in the history of resistance. However, as the movement gained traction, the government began to respond with increasingly harsh measures. In 1962, Mandela was arrested for his involvement in planning acts of sabotage against the regime. The government tried to suppress his voice, but Mandela's courage never wavered. His trial at Rivonia in 1963, where he faced charges of treason, marked one of the most significant moments of his life. In his defense, Mandela delivered a speech that became famous for its themes of freedom, justice, and equality, and he was sentenced to life in prison. While behind bars, Mandela's resolve remained strong, and he became a global symbol of resistance against apartheid. During the Rivonia trial, Mandela stood firm in his belief that he had been fighting for the rights of the oppressed, and that no regime had the right to deprive his people of their freedom. The international community watched closely, and his trial highlighted the moral divide between the apartheid government and those fighting for justice. The speech he gave during the trial became a defining moment in his political life, as he explained his commitment to the principles of democracy and equality. Despite the gravity of the charges, Mandela's poise and defiance only solidified his place as one of the world's most respected leaders. Even in prison, his influence spread as he became the symbol of the anti-apartheid struggle, inspiring movements across the globe. His words and actions during this period laid the foundation for the eventual downfall of apartheid and marked him as one of history's most iconic political prisoners. 4. Release from prison and negotiating peace. Mandela was released from prison in 1990, and his first public appearance was met with an outpouring of love and admiration from people around the world. The same country that had once locked him away now saw him as a beacon of hope. In the years following his release, Mandela worked tirelessly to dismantle the apartheid system. He called for reconciliation rather than revenge, urging both black and white South Africans to forgive the past in the pursuit of a united future. His message was clear: peace was the path forward. He played a crucial role in negotiating the peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy, working alongside then-President F.W. de Klerk. Their partnership earned them the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. Mandela's ability to rise above hatred and focus on building a new South Africa made him a beloved figure worldwide. 5. Becoming South Africa's first black president. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections, where all races could vote, and Nelson Mandela was elected as the country's first black president. This was a historic moment, symbolizing the triumph of justice over oppression. Mandela's presidency marked the beginning of a new era for South Africa, one where racial reconciliation and social justice were prioritized. As president, he emphasized unity, nation-building, and healing the deep scars left by apartheid. His leadership style was marked by humility, always seeking to bridge divides and encourage collaboration among South Africa's diverse people. Mandela's presidency was not just a political achievement, it was a symbol of hope for oppressed people around the world, showing that peace and dignity can be reclaimed, even in the face of years of hardship. His rise to power demonstrated the strength of resilience and the power of forgiveness in a divided society. Despite decades of injustice, Mandela never sought revenge, but instead focused on building a future rooted in equality and peace. He inspired people worldwide by showing that reconciliation could be more powerful than revenge. Mandela's presidency also served as a reminder that the fight for justice is long and difficult, but ultimately, it is worth every sacrifice. It opened the door for a peaceful transformation, proving that it is possible to build a new society from the ashes of a painful past. 6. Mandela's advocacy for global peace and human rights. Even after his presidency, Mandela remained a passionate advocate for global peace, justice, and human rights. He used his platform to speak out against injustices in various countries, including the conflict in the Middle East, the situation in Sudan, and the fight for African unity. Mandela's global influence was immense, and he continued to champion causes related to poverty, HIV/AIDS awareness, and education. His commitment to equality and human rights transcended borders, and he became an iconic figure of international diplomacy. He believed that the fight for freedom was not just a South African cause, but a global one. His legacy of advocating for justice, peace, and human dignity left an indelible mark on the world, cementing his place as one of history's greatest statesmen. Mandela's voice echoed across the globe, inspiring millions to stand up against oppression and inequality. He was a tireless advocate for a world where every individual could live with dignity and freedom, regardless of their race, nationality, or background. His efforts not only changed South Africa, but also contributed to shaping international human rights laws and policies. The Mandela Foundation continues to uphold his values, ensuring that future generations understand the importance of fighting for justice. 7. Mandela's legacy in South Africa. Mandela's impact on South Africa is immeasurable. His efforts to dismantle apartheid and establish a multiracial democracy fundamentally transformed the country. Even after stepping down as president, his influence continued to shape the political and social landscape of South Africa. Mandela's focus on education, healthcare, and social justice programs laid the groundwork for a new South Africa that was more inclusive and diverse. His efforts to build institutions that supported human rights and equality ensured that the legacy of apartheid would never be forgotten, but also that the nation could move forward. Mandela's personal commitment to peace and social justice continues to inspire South African leaders and citizens alike, who see him as the father of their nation. His legacy is evident in the institutions he helped build, like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which allowed South Africa to heal through dialogue. Mandela's vision for a peaceful and just society continues to guide the country as it works toward addressing its socio-economic challenges. He also established a strong tradition of political leadership that valued democracy, transparency, and accountability. His commitment to poverty reduction and job creation continues to influence South African economic policies. 8. Challenges to Mandela's legacy. Despite the immense positive change he brought to South Africa, Mandela's legacy has not been without challenges. While his presidency helped lay the foundation for a democratic South Africa, the country still struggles with high levels of inequality, unemployment, and poverty. Some have criticized the post-apartheid government for not fully addressing these issues, and many of the promises made during the transition to democracy remain unfulfilled. Nonetheless, Mandela's teachings and values continue to serve as a moral compass for South Africa, guiding its leaders as they work to overcome these challenges. The continued struggle for social and economic justice is a testament to Mandela's lifelong commitment to equality and fairness. Many South Africans continue to face economic hardships, and the wealth gap between rich and poor remains wide. Critics argue that the lack of sufficient land redistribution and economic reforms has left many disenfranchised. Despite these struggles, Mandela's enduring message of unity and reconciliation remains central to the nation's political discourse. His call for national healing and his focus on non-violence are seen as a crucial part of South Africa's journey, even as it faces ongoing difficulties. For all its challenges, South Africa's path toward economic and social equality is still shaped by Mandela's vision of a free and just society. 9. A legacy that lives on. Nelson Mandela's death in 2013 marked the end of an era, but his legacy continues to inspire millions. His name is synonymous with justice, courage, and resilience. Today, his legacy lives on in countless organizations, schools, and movements dedicated to fighting for human rights and equality. Statues, memorials, and even annual days of remembrance have been established in his honor. His story reminds us that one person, armed with nothing but the strength of their convictions, can change the world. Nelson Mandela's life was a testament to the power of forgiveness, humility, and vision. His legacy will continue to shape generations to come, inspiring us all to stand up for what is right, no matter the cost. The Mandela Foundation and other institutions dedicated to his memory continue to work on issues ranging from poverty alleviation to conflict resolution. His influence reaches beyond South Africa, affecting global movements for peace and justice. International leaders often invoke Mandela's example when confronting political and social struggles, reminding the world of his unwavering commitment to reconciliation and fairness. His life serves as a beacon for those who fight against oppression in all its forms, demonstrating that true leadership is grounded in service to others. His philosophy of peaceful resistance and social justice continues to resonate worldwide, from grassroots activists to world leaders. 10. Mandela's role in forging national unity. Nelson Mandela's presidency played a pivotal role in fostering national unity after decades of apartheid-induced division. One of his most significant achievements was his ability to bring together a deeply divided nation. In a country where racial tensions ran high, Mandela consistently championed reconciliation and worked to build bridges between black and white South Africans. His focus was on the collective future of the nation, rather than revenge or retribution for past injustices. His decision to embrace former apartheid officials in the new government helped break down the barriers of mistrust that had been built over years. Mandela believed that true freedom was not just the absence of oppression, but the creation of a society where all people could coexist peacefully. Through his leadership, he taught the importance of mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. He also promoted the idea of a rainbow nation, where people from all racial and cultural backgrounds could live together harmoniously. And that's a wrap on today's journey into the life and legacy of Nelson Mandela. His unwavering dedication to justice and equality continues to inspire people across the globe. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more stories of extraordinary individuals who've shaped history. Share your thoughts in the comments below what part of Mandela's life inspired you the most. Thanks for watching, and remember, the fight for justice isn't over. Keep the legacy alive and continue to make a difference. See you in the next video.